The Earth has spun around the sun once more, so it is finally the time to take a look at the best Skyrim mods released the past year. We'll take a look at them by category, so everything from immersion and gameplay mods to follower and graphics mods. This is Skyrim Modding Hall of Fame 2024, and I'm Bard's college graduate at your service. Let's waste no more time and begin the showcases. The first category we're looking at is immersion and gameplay, and we're beginning with EVG CLAMBER, slope animations by Everglade, Mike Nike and Ursh. Even if this mod is quite simple, it's nothing short of revolutionary. It adds neat new custom animations for going up and down stairs and slopes. The mod detects the surface angle using Open Animation Replacer, and at around 45 degrees, the player character and NPCs start moving more carefully. Around 60 degrees or more, you'll start to slide down a hill with your arm bracing for impact just in case. This is a subtle improvement, but makes all the difference in the big picture of immersion. Now, let's jump into the first person and check out first-person interactions by Girapamba. This mod adds context-aware animations that activate when you interact with the world in various ways in the first person. For example, when you touch the standing stones to receive a blessing, pray at the shrines, or interact with the many puzzle pillars of the game, you'll see your character's arms and hands using these items. With immersive interactions installed, you can also pet animals, applaud bards, and wave to children in the first-person view, making the experience more immersive. Next, I have a couple of really fun gameplay and, moreover, combat-focused mods. First off, we have Fire Ignites Arrows and Bolts by Talos. With this mod, you can set your knocked arrow aflame, and by shooting it at an enemy, it'll take additional dot damage from the fire. On the other hand, if you hold the arrow for too long, it will burn up, causing you to stagger, so be sure to aim quickly. This little gem of a mod is a surefire way to make the game more fun as a pesky stealth archer. Here we have another fun mod to make the combat more versatile, and that is Grab and Throw, created by Power of 3. This mod is an SKC plugin that allows you to grab and throw objects and distract your enemies with them. Just hold the activation key to grab an object of your choice, and with the weapon draw key, you can throw it. If you hold the key longer, it'll fly with more force too. These identified flying objects will do damage if you manage to hit someone with it, and if not, they'll make noise and cause an enemy to investigate it. So many fun possibilities with this mod. I still have one more incredible combat mod ready for you guys, but before that, let's fix the spinning camera idle feature of Skyrim, which is definitely the bane of my existence. With Sandbox when idle, which is also created by Power of 3, your character won't be a target of this nausea-inducing feature anymore, but rather, they will start acting like an NPC, interacting with any nearby idle markers or furniture. Now, after 2 minutes of idling, they will, for example, sit down, lean against the wall or eat. Just to be safe, this won't happen if there are enemies around, or if your character is currently sneaking or riding a horse. This is the third time I'm showcasing these next two mods, so let's make it short. Animated Carriage and Animated Ships, both by the masterful Viken. These mods add NPCs traveling by carriage and boats on the roads and rivers of Skyrim. They have different themes, maybe soldiers traveling to or from a battle, or merchants, or even bards, perhaps. You can also hop on these moving vehicles and travel that way to another location. But most of all, they serve as a huge immersion booster as it adds more different people traveling around, making the province feel more lively and realistic. And no more is the player character the only person using the carriages. Now we have more people on the roads, but as we're dealing with an insurrection of dragons, there should be more of those too. Kojaks Ambient Flying Dragons by Kojak747 is an excellent immersion mod for Skyrim, adding distant flying dragons on the skies of the province. Some fly alone, some fly in formation, making Skyrim feel more atmospheric with this small touch. These dragons stay at a high altitude and they won't trigger any combat action as they're purely cosmetic, making Skyrim feel even more dangerous and maybe even remind you to purge this looming threat from the world. For those dozen people who enjoy roleplaying as a Thalmor bootlicker, oh boy, do I have a mod for you! Report Talos Shrines to the Thalmor, created by but ironically. This mod allows you to rat out Talos worshippers and give out the locations of his shrines, getting some good gold in exchange.
I would like to personally thank you on behalf of myself and the Thalmor for your assistance.
This quest can be started at Markarth at the Shrine of Talos, where a proclamation has been put up. You can also speak directly to Ondolemar, the Thalmor Justiciar in Understone Keep, and agree to work with him. After finding activity around Talos worship, you can report it, and after a while, the shrine will be destroyed and the worshippers attacked by Thalmor soldiers. Absolutely disgusting, but I can't deny it's amazing for some additional player choice and roleplay options. And now, for those who'd rather like to show the Thalmor what they deserve, we have Dismembering Framework by Seb263. This is a mod that enhances Skyrim's combat gameplay with features such as real-time dismemberment, realistic blood spatters, and adaptive sound effects, depending on armor and weapon types. The mod operates through the game engine, which ensures a seamless experience. There is a lot of customization options as well to make the mod just right for your setup, including making it possible to get dismembered yourself. Just pure carnage for those who enjoy the combat aspect of the game. This year has brought us many incredible followers, but in my opinion, a certain swashbuckling pirate takes the cake this time. Serano, pirate custom-voiced follower and quest adventure by Axarian and Crimson, is a have-it-all follower and role-playing mod with nearly 4,000 voiced lines and a small DLC's worth of content, including new locations and NPCs.
You know the Dark Rose is Serano's ship, right? Crafty son. Teach him all like ball how to scheme.
This man is Serano, a pirate, thief, and a liar, with the potential of being your best friend, or if the stars align, he can be more.
Wow, I didn't expect to see you wearing the star. I could get used to that look on you.
With a custom follower framework, Val has many features that make him feel more of a real, lively person and not just another NPC, as he is well aware of his surroundings and different situations you guys are in together during your adventures.
Animal symbols in these ruins represent the Nord pantheon from the Merithic era. Some also represent the divines, but not all. They canceled the burning of King Olaf festival? That's too bad. There was this bard I met once. He was something else. Well, not important.
He can also be asked to do different things, like sit in chairs, pick door or chest locks for you, stay sneaked in one spot, adjust his combat style, and much more.
What's your life been like, before we met? Well, I do hope you perform for me sometime. Oh, and before you ask, yes, I know some sea shanties. No, they're not all filthy, and no, I will not sing them right now.
To start off Val's quests, you need to find him with the help of some letters and sea captains, and help him out of a stranded island. He's an amazing companion and a lot of fun to be around.
Just goes to show that you don't need some college to teach you the value of art. Or even how to play an instrument, apparently.
Another incredible follower released this year is Orpheus by Craftian. He is a fully voiced snow elf vampire companion with a custom-built combat system and over 1,300 lines of dialogue, among other features.
From what little I've bothered to pay attention to, the Nordlings with great dramatic irony wish to defend their land.
Most custom followers quite literally fawn over you and joke around all the time, keeping you entertained all the time. But Orpheus, he's different. You shouldn't expect him to be all buddy-buddy with you, as he's staying with you only out of sheer convenience.
Thrall or no, the Vigilance will be looking for a lone feral vampire, not a traveling party with a mortal to boot.
Orpheus can do it all in combat, whether it's magic, melee or archery, and his damage improves over time while you're leveling up. You can customize him from the book he has in his possession.
You better stay away. Too much. You're dead already.
You'll meet Orpheus the first time in Heimer's Shame, where he's cornered by Vigilance of Stendar, and here you can choose to help him, or help the Vigilance, or just watch the scene unfold.
The simple truth is, my language, all my people, our history has faded into nothing. The betrayed, as many took to calling them, were much the same then as they are now. The corruption only moved deeper and deeper.
Overall, he's a great, complex character, someone to really shake up your playthrough, especially while playing the Dawnguard DLC, where Orpheus truly shines.
This place is old indeed. It may be older than even I. You have in your possession an Elder Scroll, an artifact that transcends time, even reality itself.
Do not skip this guy. He's an underrated beast. But if you'd rather just use the vanilla followers, but wish they had some more content, you should check out Follower Dialogue Expansion mods by Ambigod for various base game companions. These mods expand the vanilla followers with hundreds of lines of immersive and lore-friendly dialogue that is written by the mod author and the voices generated with high-quality AI.
Wouldn't anyone like to stay in Riverwood forever? But no. Come to recount my past homes. Riverwood is actually my third.
Provided you can somehow free yourselves from Maven's grasp, that is. You know, stories used to tell of a thieves' guild that stole from the rich and gave to the poor.
Currently, there are 13 followers enhanced with these mods, including some of my favorites such as Ayla the Huntress, Eric the Slayer, Jordis the Sword Maiden, and Feindal.
That bard thinks he can woo Camilla away with a few half-decent poems. I've seen drunken men blabber with more sense than his poetry. The fool is a full-grown man, but still lives with his mother with no better thing to do than to loiter at the inn.
These companions have awareness to quests and environments, expanded backstories and personalities, and some of them have the ability to interact with custom followers as well, depending on the character. These mods are for you guys who shy away from custom voice acting for one reason or another, and rather just have these familiar voices and companions enhanced in your game. The best mods related to Vanilla Quest this year are by Ysmir and the Oscar Zero, to no one's surprise. Destroy the Dark Brotherhood quest expansion makes your journey with this shadowy organization more interesting in many ways. First of all, killing any of the 13 people someone has performed the Black Sacrament on, and not just Grelod the Kind, will trigger the kidnapping initiation to the Dark Brotherhood in the abandoned shack. With the mod, you can also meet any of these 3 captured people in Skyrim if only they're alive and freed by the end of the quest. For example, the woman, Aelia Quintus, has gotten herself in jail. The mission of destroying the Dark Brotherhood is also improved. Instead of just waltzing into the headquarters, you need to first discover the password, wreak havoc there, and track down the remaining assassins one by one.
Stupid dog.
Epic boss fights, a new voiced character, and a more nuanced experience with the Dark Brotherhood awaits with this quest expansion. Another vanilla quest has been enhanced with Infiltration quest expansion. In this quest, you help a man called Stalio to take back Treva's watch, as it was his family's castle, but it's now overrun with bandits. Very straightforward, sure. So, it's nice to see how this mod expands it with more player agency. With the mod, you don't have to automatically side with Stalio and instead make your own choice on how to approach the situation.
We were good friends before the war, but after the fighting broke out, we didn't exactly see eye to eye. He had me thrown in prison.
With the overhaul, the castle has been captured by his old friend, a mage called Brurid, who claims Stalio stabbed him in the back. You can also try to convince Stalio to come with you, and if he agrees, he'll comment on different things in the castle, including finding his deceased family, which understandably enrages him.
My son is dead. Damn them all to oblivion!
You can choose to align with Stalio or Brurid, or ignore both of their sides of the story and just bring mayhem on them both. This one is perfect for roleplaying, as there are now many possible endings to the story. Finally, we have Face Sculptor expanded. In the Ragged Flagon in Riften, there is this mysterious wood elf woman, Galathil, who can change your appearance in exchange of gold. In vanilla, she feels like a slapped-on addition without much further thought, so I think this mod is very useful to have. It makes her more lively, interacting with the customers of the tavern with spliced voice lines, so she doesn't seem as robotic.
I give special rates to members of the Thieves Guild. I could fix you right up.
Are you serious? How dare you! I like things the way they are.
You can also see NPCs taking use of her services, and there's a new option to become unrecognizable, which clears your current bounties in Skyrim. Now Galathil's services are more useful, and she feels more like the other NPCs, and less like just a tool at your disposal. Ah, these ears are perfect! Now, let's jump into the next category of the video, graphics. There has been incredible new models and textures for Skyrim, especially for the creatures of the game, so let's begin with Draugrs, new models and textures by Mandragora Sprouts and Archon Shadow. This mod replaces the models and textures of the Draugrs, the ancient Nords that lie mummified in the tombs of Skyrim. They look incredibly high quality in both 2K and 4K versions of the textures, and closely resemble the decaying corpses that they are. What a beautiful smile! Both male and female Draugrs are now so terrifying, yet so delightful. Dragons have gotten a lot of love from modders previously, but Dragons SE by Fourth Unknown knocks it out of the park. This mod reimagines the worms, drakes, and the Dova of Skyrim completely, giving them spectacular new models and textures, covering most of these beasts you can meet in the game. Unique dragons like Alduin, Barturnax, Odahviing, and Durnevir have been included as well, preserving their epic appearance, but enhancing them in this intimidating way. With the mod, these mighty foes look insanely good, and it's absolutely up there in the best new models ever released in my opinion. This mod has the option for lower size resolution textures as well for less powerful PCs that also look great. The monstrous trolls of Skyrim also get a redesign by Fourth Unknown, Trolls SE. With this mod, these ape-like creatures' likeness to gorillas is even more enhanced with new custom models and textures that are possible to install in higher or lower resolution. Both cave trolls and frost trolls are overhauled in this mod, not forgetting Udefrykte, the unique troll in Dawnstar Sanctuary, who has also been included. These trolls look a bit softer compared to vanilla, as they are somewhat intelligent creatures and not only some mindless three-eyed beasts. Now, let's move on from the perilous wilderness to the towns and cities of Skyrim and check out some more amazing replacers. Skyking Signs by Skyking 2020, none other, overhauls all shop, inn and blacksmith signs found throughout the province with beautiful new meshes and textures, and also sets their material to wood instead of metal like they are in vanilla game. These beautiful designs look intricate and detailed. Some of them are more worn out and some look newer, but all of them feel faithful to the original and are a joy to stare at. Walking to a tavern, we might notice the wine bottles needing a little pick-me-up, and for that, TMD Winery by the Milk Drinker is an excellent choice. Short and sweet, this mod simply replaces the wine bottles of the game with gorgeous models and textures with actually readable labels. Getting tipsy on sun-spiced wine on the eve of Fire Festival has never looked this good. After a wild night at the party, it's better to go sleep it off properly. Peasant Dreams, a common bed replacer by Soth the Simp, overhauls the basic beds of the commoners of Skyrim with new meshes and textures, making them as cozy as they can get. Both single and double beds are included in this mod, and there are multiple patches for mods such as use those blankets so you can crawl under those sweet covers. And if you're a nobility of a sort, or otherwise wealthier individual, you'd probably appreciate Ignoble beds, a noble and upper-class bed replacer, a mod also created by Soth the Simp. This mod is another replacer for Skyrim's beds, but this time those of nobles and upper-class gentlemen and women. With these meticulously carved wooden bedposts, a good night's sleep is never far away, even if the stress of saving the world as the Dragonborn weights your shoulders. Before taking a little field trip to the nature of Skyrim, it's better to leave our valuables in a safe container. ElSopa, Safe and Strongbox Redone by ElSopa, reimagines the two usually forgotten items of the game, the Strongbox and the Safe. These depositories now look shiny, high quality, and most of all, dependable and secure. There are 1K, 2K and 4K texture resolutions to choose from. Now let's check out High Quality Ivy Replacer by F This World. This mod is a gorgeous overhaul of the poison ivy vines of Skyrim that you can find pretty much anywhere. It brings variety as well to them with base object swapper and are animated to slightly move as the wind blows on them. I could stare at these vines for hours. With a small addition to the environment, we can make Skyrim's nature even more beautiful. Flora Additions Waterplants by Souvenir adds dainty water lilies and charming duckweed to various ponds and rivers, adding some detail in them. These water lilies look great. They are small and realistic, and butterflies can land on them. From the foam mod, you can choose the default version of the mod, or alternatively, the dense version, which nearly triples the amount of these plants in the game. That's it for the graphics, but we can make Skyrim more beautiful with audio mods as well. Everyone knows that the soundtrack of Skyrim is the absolute perfection, all 10s across the board, but I wouldn't blame you for wanting some variation to your game. With LORKHAN Soundtrack Replacer by Young Scrolls, who you might know from YouTube, your Skyrim experience feels completely renewed. This epic music mod completely reimagines Skyrim's soundscape, steering clear from Soul's direction, making it completely its own. With 3 hours of cohesive original music, exploration, combat and dungeons are all covered, as well as different regions of the land with meaningful and thoughtful choices of instruments and singing. LORKHAN also adds new UI sounds to make the experience complete, and the combination of all this creates such an unique and fresh feeling to Skyrim. 2024 was a great year for custom armors, so choosing the best among them was hard to say the least, but I have come to my conclusion. The light armor of the year is FB Einherjr Armor by Fefni B. This armor is modular, sleek and stylish, very Nordic in vibes, and the mod also includes new weapons and shields. This armor is for female characters only, and there are 9 color options available based on the holds of the province. You can craft the armor at Skyforge, and the 3 special shields can be found in hidden meaningful places around Skyrim. The heavy armor of the year is Ysmir Armor by Fourth Unknown. This ancient Nord armor is very faithful to the look of the original game, so it fits perfectly in any playthrough, modded to high heavens or not. The 4 pieces of the armor can be found in different places in the world, all somehow meaningful to the Dragonborn's journey, but you can also add it by console or add item menu if you just rather have it straight away. There is also the optional file to include a battle axe to the mod, which looks absolutely amazing with this armor. Now let's check out the best location mods of the year, beginning with Solitude Weaver's Lane, made by Sokalista. This mod expands the capital city of Skyrim, Solitude, with a new vibrant district with people and buildings outside the city gates. A couple of veterans run the tavern, the Bull and Bear Roadhouse, and there is also a bookstore run by an older woman, Ansby Winterlight. Weaver's Lane feels consistent to the city as the inhabitants weave as a profession and sell their wares to Radiant Raiments. Although it's simple, this mod makes Solitude feel much bigger while keeping its original aesthetic and feel, and it is compatible with many popular mods that touch this area in the game. Deadly Dragon Lair Locations Fuzzbid's Dragon Lair's AIO by Fuzzbid is a huge overhaul mod reimagining all of the dragon lairs in Skyrim and expanding them with immersive details. These locations are quite simple in the vanilla game, although they are these epic places with the mysterious word walls and everything. This mod comes in handy with making the dragon lairs feel more grand and meaningful, and makes the boss fight with a mighty Dova feel even more legendary. There are now new structures, ancient buildings worn by time, Draugrs, sarcophagi, and much more to make the exploration feel fresh again. The reworked dragon lairs look all awesome, but especially Shearpoint in the Pale looks insanely good now, with a staircase that is worthy of the location's grandeur. Orc Exiles Bile Gulch Stronghold by Jerem brings the stronghold to this orichalcum mine invaded by orcish bandits. This mod overhauls the Bile Gulch mine location in the mountainous area of Falkreath Hold, making it a proper, well-fortified orc stronghold with its own longhouse. There is a huge gate, tall log walls and stockades to keep the area defended from intruders, and the end result looks simply epic. There are also smaller details around the camp, such as flags, cages, braziers, and statues of Malakath, whom the Orosimer call the Great Chief. The amount of orc bandits have also been increased to fit the new size and look of the Bile Gulch mine, and let me tell you, it doesn't hurt one bit killing them after seeing what you can find in the Longhouse. This year we have also gotten amazing new JK Rochemont mods, and these two improve both of the central locations of the Dawnguard DLC, Fort Dawnguard and Castle Volkihar. JK's Fort Dawnguard is an enhanced fort overhaul, redesigning both the interior and exterior of this guild of vampire hunters. The roofs are now wooden and look recently renovated, which fits as it has been now rebuilt after years of abandonment, but they can be disabled with a patch if it's not your piece of cake. Not only does the castle look considerably larger, but there are tons of little details that make this area in Dayspring Canyon feel complete. The interior has been overhauled to maximize the convenience, style and coziness, so not only are there more objects and decoration, but also handy crafting stations and even a bath to lay in after a day of vampire hunting. There's also JK's Castle Volkihar, which also visually overhauls the other main Dawnguard location, the castle where the clan Volkihar vampires live. The overhaul includes the exterior and the interior of the castle, the courtyard, Valerica's study and the ruined tower. There's also new rooms and areas added to the castle, a library to study in, a vault to hold your valuables in, and a perfectly spooky bathing area. From the outside, the castle looks more frightening with all those added spikes, and inside, it feels more warm with some added candlelight without losing its malevolent ambience. With the mod, the Castle Volkihar is now well-fitting as a player home if you choose to side with the vampires, and is overall a great enhancement from the vanilla version of the location. Finally, we have gotten some much needed quality of life and user interface improvements this year. Let's begin with the Dragonborn's Bestiary by JB Steel 2, which is a mod that adds a new custom menu to the game, a bestiary, or you can collect information about the many beasts and creatures of Tamriel, from Draugr to dragons, and read about their lore. With the help of the bestiary, you can learn their strengths and weaknesses, see what loot they drop, and keep track on how many you have slayed. This is a classic feature of many games such as The Witcher 3, and it is an absolute joy to have in Skyrim as well. Skyblivion lockpick menu by Fallen01135 and others is a fun lockpicking overhaul inspired by that of Oblivion and ESO, and it's designed for the Skyblivion modding project. This mod features a new way to experience lockpicking with a full controller support and aims to make this part of the game more interactive and enjoyable. The mod includes new sounds, an auto-attempt feature, overhauled UI and perk adjustments. Dragon's Eye Minimap by Alex Silex is an SKSE plugin that features a fully functional minimap for your Skyrim HUD to help you navigate your way in the world. It displays a top view of your current location, whether you're in an interior or out in the wild, as well as quest markers, doors and NPCs. You can control the minimap by zooming in and out of the view, or move around to find your way, or hide the map whenever you don't need it. You can also customize the map size, position and shape of the minimap, and how it rotates. Better Grabbing by Skyrim Thiago finally fixes the clunky and clumsy grabbing mechanic of Skyrim. While taking an item or an object, you can rotate it around, and it also has a full gamepad support. It also works with grab and throw, which I showcased all the way at the beginning of this video. Grabbing items is very convenient now, absolutely nothing like it was before. We're at the end of the video, and there are so many mods that I would have wanted to include, especially quest mods, but those I have cut to showcase in depth later. Let me know in the comments which mods were your mods of the year. Here's to the modders of the community doing this incredible work, and I hope we'll keep going next year as well. Thank you for the past year, everyone. To support the channel, watch extra content, and gain access to Discord, check out patreon.com/BartCollegeGraduate. My thanks to Big Wang, Billy Duncan, Dode Punker, Kira, Onshore Flyer 15, Red, Brian Ulrich, the Panicked Monk, and Tauriel, as well as my other Patreon supporters whom I appreciate the most. Thank you so much for watching the video. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. Take care and see ya next year as well.